How far can you go with your research project? This step is one of the things that will determine your grade. You've already got 10 sources under your belt. And this is the big push to see how far you can develop your own topic question. You know the performance standards, you know those buzzwords, the thoroughness that you need. You know that you need to be resourceful if, for example, you haven't pushed yourself out of your comfort zone by now by organising an interview or doing a survey. If it's appropriate, now's the time to do it. You know that you're looking at information in an in-depth way, you're analysing very carefully, you're exploring your ideas, you know that you're developing your knowledge and skills highly effectively. And don't forget, like D4, don't forget your capabilities. Don't forget to remind yourself every now and then to take any opportunity you can to develop any of your capabilities. But you see, this step is where you really start driving the car, because you're the person who knows your research. You're the person who knows whether or not you're answering the question or not. You know now, hopefully, where you need to go to find more out. If you're at the stage whereby you're already getting a pretty good answers, you know the answer to your question, well, maybe possibly your question isn't quite good enough. Maybe you need to refine your question, or maybe you just need to add more detail. Are you finding out the experts in your particular area? Do they all agree with each other? So you're the one who's got to decide where you go from here. Where are you going to drive to? Have you got an idea in your head, or are you going source by source and seeing where that leads you? And that's okay too. But the point is that nobody other than yourself can make these decisions. One question research project teachers often get asked is, well, how many sources do I need? Well, that really is, a how long is a piece of string question, because you can do an A+ research project by reading 10 large books and analysing them. You can get a good mark if you do 30 short sources, as long as they're not all the same type of sources. Can you get a good mark by doing 30 YouTube clips? No, you can't. You need generally a bit of a variety, as long as it's appropriate. You need generally things that don't take just 10 seconds to read or 20 seconds to look at. Remember that in-depth thing. How many sources? It's really difficult to say. All we can say is that on average, people do round about 20, 25, sometimes a few more. That's as far as we can go on that question. A better question is, am I finding the best sources? So, do you need to use Google Scholar in your question? Have you got enough interviews? Would a survey be useful? Now don't do it if it's not appropriate. What do I really need to answer my question well? And this is where your teacher comes in. Talk to your teacher. They've done this sort of stuff before. They'll be able to have a really good conversation with you. There's nothing like a good conversation with your teacher to give you a little bit of direction. So what's next for you? You're the only person who can actually answer that question.